Hello world, this is Fioa from Anti-Spoiler Reviews, and today we are reviewing Sleeping Dogs, available for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. It is rated M for blood and gore, intense violence, sexual content, strong language, and use of drugs. So the first part we are going to be talking about is a basic overview of the game, which should be coming any minute now. The main attraction. This game takes place in Hong Kong in modern times. You play as Wei Shen, who's acted out by Will Young Lee, who's an undercover cop who has to infiltrate the most notorious gang in all of Hong Kong, the Triads. Among this game is actually his childhood friends and enemies, which always leaves room for twists and turns everywhere, which I'll get into later in a later slide. How does this game play? This game is absolutely stunning. The game genre is almost identical to that of Grand Theft Auto. Plus, it adds some features that really make the game unique and easy to play. For example, when your player is carrying a gun, you can actually take somebody hostage, and the cops will line up the shot before opening fire and trying to kill you both and the hostage. Another feature is the action hijack, where you can actually jump off your car, land on another car, and then take that car instead. It really makes you feel like you're on top of the world when you're playing this game. Gameplay score, 10 out of 10, perfect. Next slide is going to be the campaign. The story mode tells a very dark and mature tale. Twists and turns follow at almost every corner, but at the same time, you never know when to expect them. If you try to predict what happens next, 9 times out of 10, it'll be damn near close to the opposite of that. Just the main story has about 8 or 9 hours of playtime, and that isn't even half of what Sleeping Dogs has to offer. Story, 10 out of 10. Perfect. Now, the next slide, this game really resembles Batman Arkham City in the terms of combat, which I'll get into later, and Grand Theft Auto's version, their open worldness. So it's like Batman and Grand Theft Auto had a baby. That's what Sleeping Dogs would be, but it'd be a really awesome baby. Alright, the combat system. This combat system relies mainly on the martial arts training that the main character had, but as some of the screenshots may have implied, there are plenty of weapons to go around. There's obviously more melee weapons than firearms just because you can literally pick up anything and slap somebody with it, including a fish, but firearms aren't necessarily abundant, but you can still find them. Don't be fooled though. All enemies, you can only get most of your weapons from enemies, so you're gonna have to take it from them. Combat system, 10 out of 10. Perfect. Next thing we're gonna have to talk about is driving cars and motorcycles. Sleeping Dogs has a variety of different vehicles, and as you get up in the story, you can actually buy vehicles and store them in your garage, as opposed to just running around and carjacking everyone with a nice car. Although, if that's your style, obviously that option's available. The driving is nice and smooth, but the camera angles are hit and miss, and although the action hijack is really awesome, it's kind of confusing at times and difficult to do. The vehicle graphics are spectacular though. Vehicle driving, 8 out of 10. Pretty good. How sexy is this game? Square Enix must have spent forever on this engine because the graphics are superb. Every part of Hong Kong is beautiful and full of life. The only part that I do have to complain about is the facial talk recognition. The talk and the mouth move sync. It seems a bit off, and that's a big pet peeve of mine. Not a game changer though. Graphics, 9 out of 10. Superb. Now, I wish I didn't have to get to this part, but the soundtrack. Out of all the things that Sleeping Dogs got right, the soundtrack is not one of them. The regular gameplay soundtrack is fine, but when you get into a car, it is just disgusting. I mean, Square Enix tried to immerse you more into the experience by putting all Chinese songs, but it is just nasty and gross. Luckily, you don't even have to go to the start menu to change the car's music level. Soundtrack, 4 out of 10, pretty awful. Alright, the overall score, Sleeping Dogs is one of the best games I've ever played, and I'd pretty much almost recommend it to everybody, but this game is very graphic and tells a very dark and mature story that might not sit well with some people's stomachs, and I'm being serious about that. So this game is absolutely amazing, and anyone who wants to feel like a total BA, go ahead and pick up this game. Overall score, 9.5 out of 10. Friggin' awesome. It's been Fioa with anti-spoiler reviews, and I'll see you guys later.